This is a city where murder scenes outnumber music studios, where bullets fly before sunrise, and where some of the most feared street organizations in the South draw invisible lines that split the city block by block. From the heart of North Memphis to the blood-soaked corners of South Memphis, the city is carved into deadly sections. Frayser, Klondike, Orange Mound, Castalia, Whitehaven, Smokey City. These aren't just neighborhoods, they're battlegrounds. And each one comes with a story, soaked in history, tragedy, and survival. In the heart of Southeast Memphis, there's a neighborhood that moves to a rhythm all its own. They call it Orange Mound, but this isn't just another Memphis hood. It's a legacy, a city within a city, a place where history, pride, and violence all walk the same streets.
That's not the only thing getting attention. A casket spotted on a street corner is not something you see every day, but sure enough, it was there, stirring up a commotion in Orange Mound. Memphis police were even called in to check it out. WRG's Melissa Moon spoke with a man trying to get to the bottom of who left this unusual item behind.
To a crime alert here at home, Memphis police put out this surveillance photo showing a drive-by shooter. The man armed with a rifle shot and wounded 3 juveniles Saturday. This happened on Dietrich Avenue near Baltimore Street in Orange Mound. Before we get started on this video, make sure you go check out my website. That's in the description, where I post viral videos daily. And plus, make sure you like the video and share it with someone to spread the violence awareness. Born in the late 1800s, Orange Mound was one of the first neighborhoods in America built specifically for African Americans. During segregation, it stood as a proud symbol of black excellence, self-sustaining, tightly knit, and thriving. At its peak, it was one of the largest all-black communities in the country. This was the same Orange Mound that gave birth to legends like 8 Ball and MJG, where barbershops doubled as political hubs, where elders sat on porches as gospel poured out of churches on Sundays. But the rhythm changed. As segregation ended, opportunities pulled families out, jobs in East Memphis, housing beyond South Parkway, and what was left behind became a vacuum, a target, a battleground. Over time, gangs carved up the mound, block by block. Vice lord sets moved in. The mound mob rose up. Gunplay became the new language of power. Drive-bys, retaliation killings, and turf wars turned historic streets into front lines. But nothing shook the community more than what happened in the spring of 2024. There was supposed to be a celebration, a block party at Orange Mound Park. Hundreds gathered for music, food, and peace. But when the sun dropped, so did the safety. Gunfire ripped through the crowd. Over 200 rounds were fired. 9 people were shot. 2 young men, 17-year-old Antonio Humphrey and 22-year-old Chamar Fosson, lost their lives. No arrests, no justice, just pain that lingers to this day. Just 6 days later, a high-risk drug raid in the mound ended in bloodshed. Deputies approached a vehicle tied to a trafficking ring. The driver, 30-year-old James Hampton, tried to flee. Officers opened fire. He was killed instantly. Inside the car, multiple high-capacity firearms and a Glock switch device. Illegal, deadly, and built for destruction.
A deadly block party shooting in Orange Mound. 9 people were shot that day. 2 of them lost their lives. And in the years since, no one has been arrested for the killings.
Orange Mound Park.
It's usually busy, especially on a Saturday when the weather's nice.
It's familiar territory for these 2 Memphis police officers, more than just patrol partners.
Yeah, it definitely feels safer having your cousin as your partner.
Working the historic Orange Mound beat together for the past 3+ years.
Chemistry is just there.
Yeah.
We know what each of us need to do and we just act on it.
April 20th of last year, that chemistry was put to the test when an unsanctioned block party turned this family-friendly park into a war zone.
We were like down the block when we heard the shots fired. We heard almost like 100, 200 rounds.
Hundreds of bullets fired into a crowd that had been gathered for hours.
And when you got here, what was this park looking like at the time?
Probably hundreds of people running down the park onto this street.
Multiple people are running.
We need more cars to fit to Orange Mound Park.
The first thing that happened when we got out the car is we saw a lady on the floor, and we saw a crowd gathering around her, and we asked her what was wrong. She explained to us she was pregnant, and a car hit her.
We had multiple people shot.
Another person comes to us saying he was shot in his hand. So now we're trying to help him by stop the bleeding.
A chaotic scene. 9 people shot, 2 more hit by cars.
Hey, I've got 1 down, unresponsive at the pavilion.
We now know that person was 17-year-old Antonio Humphrey, killed in the crowd that day by gunfire. 22-year-old Shalimar Faison was also killed. The young father of 2 had just attended his little brother's birthday party.
We need some help down here. If not, somebody else gonna get hurt.
A community in crisis. Who opened fire and why?
Right now, we don't have any suspects in custody.
In the days and weeks that followed, investigators say they were flooded with videos and tips from here in Memphis and across the country. Memphis ordinance prohibits weapons of any kind inside city parks. But videos like this one sent to Action News 5 shows multiple people walking around the park with weapons prior to the shooting in Orange Mound last year.
The violence in Orange Mound isn't random, it's systemic, it's generational, and sometimes it's organized. In 2025, a federal jury convicted a member of the unknown vice lords for helping orchestrate the murder of his own gang's chief. A betrayal fueled by power struggles and paranoia. A hit ordered in retaliation. It wasn't just gang activity, it was racketeering on a federal level. And the sentence? Life behind bars. Even 4th of July wasn't safe. During the 2025 holiday, fireworks mixed with gunfire in Orange Mound once again. More bullets, more victims, and yet again the community asked, when will it end? But for every headline soaked in violence, there are people fighting back. Mothers marching, mentors stepping up, block captains trying to keep the peace. Orange Mound has been through too much to give up now, because even as gun smoke clouds the legacy, the soul of Orange Mound is still here, still fighting, still rising. They call it 4-Way, 4th and Walker, deep South Memphis, a corner that sounds like an address, but to those who know, it's a flag, a boundary, a battlefield. 4-Way and Gaston Park, better known on the streets as GP Move as One, but live by separate codes. 2 names tied by blood, history, and war. It's the part of the city where everyone knows which way you look says everything about who you're with. The same blocks that raised Memphis rapper Zay Zilla also raised soldiers, and not everybody made it out with a mic. There's history in the beef. Street chatter says it all started with the body. A young man known as Lump, tied to one of the cliques, gunned down in cold blood back in 2012 or 2013. No trial, no peace, just silent war ever since. The internet says they're different. 4-Ways from the mound, the GPs from the south, but here in Memphis, those lines blur fast when retaliation comes into play. When sets cross paths, it ain't about what side of the city you claim, it's about who you lost and who's still breathing. The energy in this part of South Memphis is unpredictable. During a 4th of July party just a few miles away, officers approached an armed crowd. Before they could speak, bullets flew. No arrests, no names, just proof that in Memphis, even holidays carry heat. As 4-Way, they stay low but never soft. Ask around, you hear it in whispers. This ain't a loud corner, it's quiet, calculated, every move matters. 4-Way and Gaston Park, you don't get stripes by talking, you get them by surviving. Danny Thomas Boulevard, South Memphis. What once stood tall as Foot Homes public housing is now a demolition zone. Empty barracks that still whisper secrets of a neighborhood shaped by hope, neglect, and violence. Built in 1940, Foot Homes was once a beacon, federal funds, indoor plumbing, heated floors, and pride of place. What followed was 7 decades of changing tides. First a thriving community, then boarded up buildings, then a magnet for off-the-book dealings. Even after residents left in 2016, bullets didn't stop. One April evening, a 15-year-old girl was found shot dead near the old playground, proof that even vacant walls couldn't stop the flow of violence.
A 15-year-old shot and killed in what police describe as a drive-by shooting. It happened just before midnight in the 300 block of Vance. That's in the Foot Homes neighborhood. WMC Action News 5's Jerry Askin spoke with neighbors about what may have happened before the teen.
What is it that a 15-year-old can do to anybody that would make them want to take their life?
A girl who was only 15, who never made it to high school graduation, never went to college, and will never have the chance to walk down the aisle as a bride. Her life taken by gunfire Sunday night.
My son shoots ball right there all the time. It could have been mine.
Lisa Conrad says her son was friends with the victim. Neighbors say she went to Northside High School.
He couldn't get up to go to school because he knew her.
Now, teddy bears and flowers sit here at Foot Homes at the place where police say several people riding in a gray or silver Infiniti drove up Sunday and one man opened fire and kept going. Neighbors say some kind of fight on Bill led to gunfire here at Foot Homes. Police have not yet said if the 15-year-old girl was the intended target.
We can't even just sit out and get us a little fresh air without these folks out here shooting.
And you can see cars here in Foot Homes were not spared either. Several cars like the one here were shot up. Neighbors heard at least 20 gunshots.
It sounded like we was in a wreck.
Boom.
It's a sad day.
In the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people.
And this teen's friends and family are praying for answers, and they're upset.
And if it had been mine, I would go shut this down.
In a single stretch of time, more than 70 crimes were logged in the empty complex. Triple shootings, robberies, drug deals, turning empty lots into hot zones. And this wasn't new. For years, police called this place a war zone. Violent crime was reported every other day, taking hostages inside abandoned units, stealing cars, and shattering families. Even when housing agents had already boarded it up, Southern city leaders teetering between ignoring the problem or rebuilding it, pulled the trigger on demolition in late 2016. The final buildings fell in early 2017. The plan was to build mixed in-house housing, but as bulldozers tore down the old, they also tore families apart. 330 students were uprooted, parents scrambled for relocation, schools barely knew where the new kids would land. Today, the site is silent. Cleburne Point stands across the street, a monument to the past promise. But Foot's legacy isn't buried under rubble. It lives in the echoes of gunshots and empty lots, and displaced students starting anew, in the mix of fear and hope that still bounces off rebuilt facades. In Foot Homes, demolition didn't erase a neighborhood, it just changed its face and left behind scars only the people remember. South Memphis, Alsea Road, it used to be quiet until Hillview Apartments opened up, tensing like a wound nobody tended to. It's after dark. West Hillview Drive, a car idles, 2 young men inside. A man steps up, gun drawn, demands cash. When denied, he fires into the vehicle. One victim collapses, bleeding, rushed to the regional medical center, critical but alive. A robbery gone wrong, but the fear stays long after. Flashback 2012, a 19-year-old walks through the courtyard. 4 men leap out. They don't warn, they use high caliber rifles. When police find him, he's slumped between buildings. Dead. No warning. 4 suspects still untouched by justice. Years later, more gunfire. A teenager walking through the lot at night hears a crack. A single bullet pierces flesh. Accidental, police say. Another South Memphis teen, another heartbreak.
14-year-old teen is fighting for their life after being accidentally shot by a child in South Memphis. Tonight, a man is facing charges for that shooting. Memphis police say it happened around 9:30 last night in the Hillview Village apartments off Alki Road. The teen was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Kevin Owens was charged in connection to the shooting with child neglect and aggravated child abuse endangerment. Memphis police are reminding parents they are giving away free gun locks at each of its precincts.
March 2023, a man shows up at Hillview, gun in hand. He corners residents in the parking lot, waving a pistol, threatening to shoot. They scramble for cover. He disappears before police arrive. Just days ago, gunshots again, East Alsea Road. A woman fatally shot after her argument with her neighbor. Authorities called it domestic, but for Hillview, it's familiar. Violence bleeding into apartments. 5 boys caught in a firefight over turf, neighbors say. They saw them duck behind cars like roaches. One clip captured on cell phone. These folks in Memphis ready to kill. Hillview Apartments wasn't built for battle, but every building, every corner bears it now. Gunmen. Accidental crossfire. Domestic wounds. Nearly every month, another tragedy, another life interrupted, families torn apart. In South Memphis, Alsea Road is more than an address. It's a warning, a testament to how close peace and chaos can sit on the same curb. Along the long winding strip of Chillahoma Road in East Memphis sits Whitehaven, a neighborhood too often overlooked but never quiet. To outsiders, it's just another row of homes, corner stores, and warehouses. But to the people who live here, Whitehaven is heavy. It's where survival is stitched into the rhythm of everyday life.
Now to a crime alert. A woman is dead tonight after what neighbors are calling an ambush shooting in the Whitehaven neighborhood.
On December 24th, Christmas Eve of 2023, just after midnight, the County Line Grocery on Tullahoma became the scene of a cold-blooded murder. A man was found dead behind the counter. Police said the suspect knew the victim. Surveillance cameras captured two men fleeing the store, one in a dark Adidas jacket with red shoes, the other in a tan shirt and black Air Maxes. Both disappeared into the night. No arrests, no justice, just silence. Only months later, on April 16th, 2025, a man was found critically wounded near a set of storage units off Tullahoma. Another shooting, another ambulance ride, another case gone cold. Police swarmed the scene, marked shell casings, but again, no answers.
Police are investigating a shooting at a storage unit this morning.
Yeah, they've been there for several hours.
Like MPD officers and investigators are towards the end, wrapping up their investigation of a shooting that happened here at the U Store self-storage on Winchester Road. They've been investigating for over 3 hours now. We do know that the shooting call came in around 3:30 this morning, and as you can see right now, several cars that were on scene earlier have left.
Then came July 13th. Broad daylight, just before 8 p.m., officers responded to gunfire at the 3400 block of Trinity Park Drive. They found a man clinging to life, shot in the shoulder. He survived, but the shooter didn't leave a name and nobody claimed to see a thing. That's how it goes out here. What happens in Whitehaven stays in the shadows.
Also new tonight, MPD says at 7:41 this evening, officers responded to a shooting in the 3400 block of Trinity Park Drive. They also located one man who was taken to the hospital in critical condition. MPD says there's no suspect information at this time, but if you know anything, please call police.
For residents here, peace is a flickering light. You might make it home safe Monday and be ducking bullets by Wednesday. People say Whitehaven is the calm side of Memphis, but ask around on Tullahoma and they'll tell you calm doesn't mean safe, it means quiet. And quiet is where the danger hides. Whitehaven isn't on the news every night, but maybe that's what makes it worse. The bodies don't always stack up, but the fear, that piles on heavy. Every day, every shooting, every unanswered call for help. This neighborhood sinks deeper into the silence that follows the gun smoke.